Hi guys, it's Jess, and welcome to the third episode of my series I Watched, where I watch movies that have autistic characters, and I give my opinions on them as an autistic person. So in today's episode, I am going to be talking about the cinematic masterpiece that is The Fanatic, which stars John Travolta and is directed by Fred Durst, the lead singer of Limp Bizkit. The Fanatic was released in 2019, and a lot of people considered it to be one of the worst movies of that year. But I consider it as a cinematic masterpiece, but not for the reason you may think. I've seen it 3 times before I made this video, and I just put it in the so bad it's good category, but I'll discuss about that later. So The Fanatic has John Travolta as the lead character Moose, who is autistic. He lives in Hollywood, and he works in Hollywood Boulevard as an entertainer for tourists. He is a British officer, so Moose really loves horror movies, and his favorite actor is Hunter Dunbar, who is played by Devon Sawa. When he goes to this event to meet Hunter, it doesn't go the way that he thought he would, and Hunter ends up being really mean to him.
I'm on your side. You're the best, Mr. Dunbar. You're the best.
You need to learn some fucking manners, buddy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Dunbar, but I have every VHS, I have every DVD, and you're so rad in The Warrior. I just don't want you not to sign my stuff.
You came to the place, but I'm officially done.
But where do you see the special items that I have? This is Space Vampires.
How did I sign your face with my fucking fist? That's a collector's item you're not gonna want to take home. Trust me.
Yes, sir.
So it just drives him to become obsessed with seeing him, going as far as breaking into his house. The Fanatic is marketed as a horror thriller movie, but honestly, I see it more as an unintentional comedy just because of how ridiculous it is at times. Before this movie came out, I remember seeing a picture of John Travolta as Moose, and I remember how ridiculous he looked, but I honestly kind of thought that it may be a sort of comeback performance for him. And I think a lot of people thought the same too. John Travolta has such a up and down career since he started acting in the 70s. He had hits like Grease and Saturday Night Fever, and then he made the terrible sequel to Saturday Night Fever, Staying Alive, and that put his career on hold. And then he made a comeback when he was in Pulp Fiction, which I thought he was excellent in, by the way. But then in 2000, he made the film Battlefield Earth, which is considered to be one of the worst movies ever made, and it pretty much ruined his career. So lately, he's been doing all these direct-to-DVD movies and all these movies that not a lot of people have seen. So John Travolta's performance in this movie was pretty bad. So bad that he won a Razzie for the worst actor for his performance in this movie. And it seemed to not do good for his career too, because he hasn't really done that much lately. The most relevant thing he has done lately, that Super Bowl commercial from this year in which he did a TikTok dance with his daughter. And why do you ask? His performance was bad in that movie? Well, from my opinion, it's a very stereotypical portrayal of autism. He does all these cliched actions that autistic people do, such as always rocking back and forth. He cries when he gets upset. He avoids eye contact with people, and other things like that. I just find it to be so offensive. In fact, I had my best friend watch this movie with me, and she actually works with autistic children, and she thought that his performance was horrible. I'm glad to see that many people think that his performance in general is just terrible. And the thing that baffles me most about his performance was that he actually had a son who was autistic. So, to portray an autistic person so poorly when he actually had family who is autistic, I just find it to be horrible. I also have to comment about Fred Durst's direction in this movie. I think he is a terrible director, to say the least. There is a scene in the movie in which one of the characters directly mentions on how much he loves Limp Bizkit, and he plays a song on the radio. And I haven't seen a reference that was so in your face by a director like this before. I just think it's really unprofessional, and it's badly funny. It's unintentionally hilarious. I want to share some other flaws that the Fanatic has. First of all, when Moose and Hunter have scenes together, you don't really care for either one of them. You don't choose a side or anything like that because of Moose's behavior, of how obsessive he gets over Hunter. You don't care for him that much because you know that he's going way over his head. And then Hunter is so ridiculously mean to him.
I don't know what you're doing outside my house like some sort of deaf mute pervert, but I suggest you keep moving. Unless you want trouble. You want trouble?
I sure don't. I sure don't. There's a letter for you. It's a letter.
You wrote a letter? I don't accept letters here. Listen, pal. I don't know how you found me, but I don't ever want to see you in this neighborhood again. Okay? You understand?
I just want your autographs, Mr. Dunbar. I collect autographs, and I bought your vest from Vampire Killers. It was $300. See?
What are you, some sort of freak autograph hound that won't leave me the fuck alone? You can't just come to my private residence looking for me. You want my autograph? Give it back. Thank you. I got your autograph. Right there is my autograph. Now get the fuck out of here.
Spoiler alert, but in the end there's a battle, I mean, not a battle, there's a fight between them two in his house, in Hunter's house, and Hunter goes over the top on him. He becomes way too violent. He shot his fingers off and he stabs him in the eye, and that just doesn't make sense to me because if you had an intruder in your house, you would probably just call the police and kick them out of the house. After he attacks him in this way, he basically just like pushes him out of his house like, bye, have a good evening. And then that's just how it ends like that. Portraying a autistic person as a sort of psychopath, it's just ridiculous. Because if you ever met an autistic person, you would never think that like they would be capable of committing crimes and stuff like that. So the thought of an autistic person committing a crime like that and becoming like way too obsessed in that kind of situation, it's really dumb, you know? Really, really dumb. And also, Moose has only one friend who is a paparazzi photographer.
It's funny that you mentioned Dunbar, because I was just at his house.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. I used a star map app, the one that you told me about, takes you directly to his house. And his plants, he should take better care of his plants.
I did not tell you to use the
sure
star
did.
map. I did not.
You sure did.
No, I did not.
Yes, you
Use.
did.
No, I
Yes,
did
you
not.
did.
I told you about the app because you are the biggest movie fan I know, and I thought you'd get a kick out of seeing where the stars live.
Leah,
You cannot just invade people's privacy.
I'm not in trouble, Leah. I just dropped a letter off his house. That was it.
This is really bad.
I can't believe you're acting like this. I thought you would be happy for me.
Happy for you. I would have never encouraged you if I knew you'd turn into a creepy little stalker.
I am not a stalker. I am a fan, Leah. You should know that better than anybody. You're being so mean. Like Hunter's wife.
Moose!
And for some reason, Fred Durst made the decision to have her narrate throughout the movie, even though she isn't really a major character and isn't in these major plot points of the story.
I put some of the blame on myself. I just wanted to be a good friend.
I also think The Fanatic has one of the worst endings to a movie ever. After Hunter pushes Moose out of the house, the police come to Hunter's house the next morning and they arrest him. And the thing is, he doesn't even explain that about what happened the previous night. In a previous scene near the middle of the movie, there is a scene in which Moose breaks in Hunter's house, and a maid is one of the people who knows this. So she tries to kick him out of his house, and he punches her in the face, and that instantly kills her for some reason.
No, don't read it! Don't read it! Don't read it! I said don't read it! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Are you okay? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's a nosebleed. That's bad. That's bad. I had a nosebleed. It wasn't fun. But you fix it. You take paper towels and you put it up your nose like...
So Hunter is charged for the murder of this maid, which, if you have a brain, you should tell the police that you're not the one who killed her. Moose gets away with everything apparently, like he never gets caught or anything like that. So it's like not the direction you would want a type of movie like this to go into. And the funny thing about this movie is that there was a campaign during award season for The Fanatic to be nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, and Best Actor. Trust me, it's just as hilarious as you would think it would be. I mean, could you ever imagine the Oscars nominating a movie like this? The Razzies nominated The Fanatic for those awards, so it's pretty much worth it. So The Fanatic is a terrible, terrible movie. Like I said, one of the worst movies of 2019. But I find this movie to be on the level of The Room, where it's so bad it's good. And I can just watch this movie and have a good laugh about it. I highly recommend you watch this movie with a group of people, because it's just so entertaining to watch, and you all can just crack up and talk about how terrible it is. It's quite the experience, trust me.
I need you to take a deep breath in. Yeah. Now I want you to imagine you and me.
You and me?
Yeah, you see us?
I do.
All right. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna change these dirty clothes. We're gonna take off this sweat and this blood and this gasoline, and we're gonna put on some fresh new guts. We're gonna look spiffy. We're gonna look good, and then we're gonna go out on the town. We're gonna go one of those Hollywood fancy joints.
Moose on Frank's? Moose on Frank's? We're going to Moose on Frank's?
Wherever you want, man. We'll go wherever you want. I'll call my manager. He'll get us a table wherever you want to go. And when it's all done, we'll get a big bowl of chocolate ice cream.
Strawberry ice cream.
Yeah. Strawberry ice cream, Moose, of course. And then we'll come back to my place and throw in a couple of action films and watch them on the HD TV. Yeah, does that sound good, man?
I love you. I love you.
You, me, a couple of action flicks, and some strawberry ice cream, right? He's just you and I, man.
It's you and me.
We just gotta take these roads off first, you know?
Okay.
Yeah?
Okay.
Alright.
Okay.
Alright, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like. If you're on Instagram, make sure to follow me. If you're on YouTube, subscribe to me, because there will be more videos like this to come. So I will see you in the next video.
I can't talk too long. I gotta poo.